You were just telling a story about something you had to roll over on an airplane.
Speaking of roll over,
Roll over?
Yeah.
Which one?
well, so we're in New Mexico.
Yeah.
I'm Luke.
That didn't add to the scene.
I'm Luke.
But you couldn't control it. That's the thing. It's like you think that you have everything planned out, and then this crazy thing happens.
You do. So Luke and I are in New Mexico on a job. I'm his camera operator, and project's called Robots. Check it out. But we were doing a car scene with 3 actors. They're self-driving. It's not a rig. It's not a process. Even though we did have process.
We did, but for
for other things. But for some reason, we chose to let them like naturally drive on that. Luke's handhold, I'm back on set.
Not the front seat. I don't do that anymore.
Not the front seat, but so they're driving. Sound guy's in the trunk. I mean,
Oh my God.
yeah, it was an SUV, right? So I mean, he wasn't
Yeah, it's not like-
enclosed.
not
He wasn't
locked, but-
enclosed.
But so we're on the
But
highway.
he should have been.
We're on a highway. We're on a highway 65 miles an hour,
Oh my God.
and a contractor truck drops a 6-step ladder in the right in
middle
front
of
of the
the-
car
Flies off his pickup truck
While they're
right in
rolling.
front of us.
So yeah, take over.
And so the actress is in the passenger seat, Shailene Woodley, and I'm shooting Jack Whitehall in behind the drivers, just shooting his reaction, and he's just like texting. That was the scene, and all of a sudden I hear Shailene go like, ladder, 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 ladder. So that the driver, who is an actor, who's very much in the scene, doesn't like swerve or just aware of this giant orange thing coming at us at 65 miles an hour. And thank God he just drove right over it. We just heard like a dum, and I just happened to like look out the back windshield, and I saw the thing just like tumbling through the air to the next car who had to deal with it. Like, oh my God, everything was fine.
Blue tires though.
We did blow tires eventually, but not to the
Okay.
a
It was
loss
more
of control.
Slow deflation, not a.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
could have been
And then
a lot worse.
we are waiting where we're supposed to shoot a night exterior at a hotel where main crew's waiting. And this is now blowing up over walkie of like,
Yeah.
oh my God, A-cam, like.
Because everyone else is just standing there waiting.
And then we had to send the Teamsters to go like rescue the vehicle. Did you get the whole scene? Or was there more that you needed?
I think so. I just remember, I've never seen a medic work so hard on a movie, like every day,
Oh,
at
that's
least
true.
once. Yeah, like normally on a movie, like
like
the medic
Band-Aids.
gets
Yeah.
called like twice.
Yeah.
In my experience.
Advil.
Yeah. Like somebody's faint or somebody threw up or whatever.
Yeah.
Every day, this guy was like medic, and like something
was
was
crazy.
somebody smashed their thumb in the grip chuck. Somebody had a sunstroke. Somebody it was like one thing after another, and it was like it was a harsh environment. It was like 100 plus. And
But this one grip,
sandy.
man, this one grip injured himself. He wore a 7-inch Bowie knife on his belt. He was very young, and I was like, why do you need that? I honestly called him out on it. I was like, why do you need the 7-inch Bowie knife? He's like, for cutting things. And I'm like, I have like a box cutter
people?
folded in my pocket that will do the same thing, and
He's got it on you.
like right here, like for cutting things.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
You can't
He-
carve a turkey with that.
no, oh no, but I have carved a turkey.
So he's just got this on his belt.
He has this on his
Thanksgiving
belt,
edition.
and this guy was injured and would go home for 5 days, recover, and come back. And then I think after the 4th time, he just it stopped.
Oh, it was just a normal cycle. Like
It was a
on
normal cycle.
On a
The
week,
medic,
off
the
a
medic.
week, on a week,
Like
off
I
a
mean,
week.
I was frustrated with him, and I remember there was one day on set where like, we're moving on that in that hacienda, and like I see him walking without carrying any gear, and I'm like, come on, man! Like we're all carrying gear. I'm a camera op, and I'm carrying like your combi stand right now to get to the next place. And he's like, oh, I just got injured. I'm like, of course.
Then you shouldn't be
Like,
here. Yeah.
Yeah, and then that was it.
Yeah. We call that addition through subtraction sometimes, where like you just don't hire that guy and everything works a little better. So
Yes.
it actually
Yeah.
feels like you have more people.
Yes.
Well, the turkey.
I'm gonna use that.
The turkey carving story is a wonderful story. I'd like to tell it. It was like basically some people in that story, when they saw my first rap drinks, and they were like, Smokey, why didn't you bring that up? But I mean, it's really not on topic except for carving. The topic is like when you're dealing with celebrities, and like celebrities are all different types. Some like to be friendly.
Yeah.
Some like to get to be friends, and some like to you never fucking talk to me ever, crew person. So there's a wide range of celebrity interaction, and as a crew member, it's really good to go in and be light gloved and to give them their space and to not try to impose anything on a celebrity. I was gaffing a movie called Cold Souls with Paul Giamatti, and it was our first week, and like we're in a Brooklyn Heights beautiful mansion as his character's location, like house, and no one is talking to him. Like we're like giving Paul Giamatti, do your art, we'll just light it and it'll be great. It'll be great. And watch it. Yeah, no problem. Production told us we were going to do a walk away, which means that like they're not providing lunch, but they'll provide money, and you find something local in the area that you eat, and that's on you. Someone in the grip department discovered that there was a very shishi deep fried turkey place that had 30 different flavors of deep fried turkey, and there was enough of us that
How do
we
you
could.
flavor turkey?
Well, yeah, there was Cajun, there was garlic. Like, no. I mean, when you deep fry it, it's for the skin, right? It's for the skin.
Yeah, okay.
And so there was enough of us that would make a lovely meal. We could get this like very
Everybody
foodie,
threw
pitched in,
Okay.
like we'll get a deep fried turkey. And the problem was the paralysis of choice. The fact that there were 30 flavors,
Right.
and we're lighting the scene. And we're on surveillances, so we're like talking about like as people are moving C-stands, we're like, oh, what's in the Cajun, or like how garlic is garlic, and like it's like so we're doing what we need to do, but we're like I guess around Paul Giamatti enough that, and we hadn't talked to him. He had a first team PA, like so all of a sudden the first team PA comes up to me, he's like, hey, so Paul Giamatti thinks that you guys might be getting a deep fried turkey for lunch. And he's wondering if he could be in on it. And we're like, oh, shit. Okay. Yeah, this sounds great. Yeah, sure. And I go back to the guys. I'm like, hey, guys, Paul Giamatti wants to share a turkey with us. And we're like, okay, cool. And now we're like, well, we had already settled on Cajun, but now we're worried that he might not
is
like
he
the
okay with
flavor.
that?
And so I go back to the first team PA, and I'm like, well, we're doing Cajun. Is Paul cool with Cajun? And so later the guy comes back to me. He's like, yes. Paul's cool with Cajun. I'm like, great. So I think that the whole issue is done. Like, right? Like, this is now done.
Yeah.
No more discussion needed. Then a producer comes up to me, Jeremy. He's like, Smokey, we hear now that you're sharing a deep fried turkey with Paul Giamatti for lunch. And I'm like, yes. He's like, that this is this walk away, our production room downstairs, there's a no food in this house. So, and I was like, oh, another thing is that the turkey place didn't have a restaurant. It was takeout only.
Yeah, it was.
Takeout only. So now the
lazy.
producer comes up to me and he's like, you can't eat it in the basement where production's set up. And I'm like, and it's cold. It's November. It's like 30 degrees. And so our only other option is to what we call tarp the truck. Where you have the grip truck where you put spring clamps and tarp and then a space heater to keep it warm inside. And so now I'm like, okay, so Paul doesn't know this element. And so instead
He's got to have a trailer, right?
yeah, no,
No?
we didn't because we were at the house. So
so
the house was
he gets a
like
room.
his prep. And so at this point, so it's going through so many people. It's like the first team PA who, I forgot to mention, wanted to get involved. He's like, could I get in? And I'm like, well, dude, we're already like there's too many people for one
like 10
turkey.
minutes left in
It
lunch.
only- it
Yeah,
only feeds- it only feeds
yeah.
9 people.
No offense, dude, but you cannot also get a part of the turkey. But then now that we don't have a place to eat it, and the only thing we can think of is doing the tarp truck. I had met his wife, and she was at the monitor, and so instead of going to the first team PA, like I talked to his wife, and I was like, hey, I hope that Paul will be cool, but like we're gonna eat in the grip truck. And she's like, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, he'll be fine with that. And so sure enough, we tarp the truck. We get there, and everyone's being super awkward. We're like the first time one-on-one. There's no
Sorry, the place is a
production. Like
mess.
it's me, my key grip, and
Push
the
that
team.
Duvetine anywhere.
And like we're in the aisle, standing in the aisle with Apple boxes for seats, but the ground adapters, as we call them. And like now we have this weird. The turkey needs to be cut and like carved. And so, like, who's gonna do it? The gaffer, the key
grace.
grip, and like, and so Paul being who he is, we were like, Paul, would you and again, like, because he's in makeup and stuff, so he's like wearing a bib.
Yeah.
And we didn't know where to carve it, so we had a 3,000 watt Jenny with a pancake that we put the turkey on, and Paul Giamatti in silence carved the turkey and handed it to us. But now we're good friends. We
Please tell
email
me
like
pictures. And stuff.
no, we didn't take pictures. Like again,
Worst
NDAs like
Thanksgiving ever.
Oh my god.
yeah, grips giving.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was a very fun time. And
Shout out to him too, because I think when Holdovers won some awards, he gave props to the 41 crews. So
yeah, no, he
New
is
England.
he is a genuine person, a wonderful man. Like I ran into him. I was coming into the Strand bookstore one time, and he was coming out, and we ran into each other, and we just caught up. And then all of a sudden, I realized we're getting like a photo circle around us of like people videoing, like Paul Giamatti talks to a person on the street.
Weird guy.
And And, so then like we were catching up, and then it got awkward, and we're like, oh, maybe we'll see you later privately. That's fine. And when I went into the bookstore, several people from that photo circle came in and were like looking around the corner and taking photos of me, trying to figure out who I was.
You must
so,
be
yeah, because I was talking to Paul.
Never asked you.
No, did
figured
not. No,
out
they
just,
just,
search.
like we're doing these weird sniper like
Just in
behind the
case,
aisle.
yeah.
It was weird. It was very
And
strange.
then they use Google Lens and they're like, who the fuck is Smokey Nelson?
Yeah.
He's on rap drinks?
Google Lens. Like not to reveal my age, but Google Lens wasn't around then.
Right,
But
yeah,
yes.
Predates Google.
Yeah.